Good morning and welcome to A Moment of Hope with Upward Transitions. My name is Karla Stinnett, and today we wanted to have a brief conversation, about 10 minutes, about the research that supports what we do, what supports our mission, and how we implement our mission and how our process works. Just to tell you a little background about Upward Transitions, we began first as Traveler's Aid, and we've been serving the Oklahoma City community since 1925. So we are embarking upon our almost 100-year anniversary of serving the Oklahoma County area. And our Traveler's Aid volunteers have served travelers at Will Rogers World Airport for the past 47 years and provide assistance to approximately 100,000 visitors each year. That's amazing. And we're very grateful. And throughout the pandemic, they have been superb and so helpful. And we just appreciate everything that our volunteers do out at the airport. But to tell you a little bit about Upward Transitions, our community outreach program provides emergency relief, case management, and direct services to address the issues of homelessness and generational poverty. Now, when we talk about generational poverty, we can imagine how huge that issue or challenge is. But we take a proactive approach to poverty, to keeping people in their homes, keeping families in their homes, even attempting to do a one-time intervention, even if it's a one-time financial intervention. The studies have shown that a year later, 85% of those families are still in their home, just with a one-time financial intervention. And at Upward Transitions, our statistics show that 89% of those that we assist are still in their homes a year later. These services that we provide are financial bridges, and they are effective in removing barriers to obtaining and preserving housing and moving people forward beyond their immediate crisis. So just to give you a little bit of the stats, in the year 2020, our community outreach program assisted more than 3,360 people with basic needs, including legal documents and ID retrieval. This is for individuals who are homeless to access employment and housing. If you don't have an ID, you can't get a job, and you can't receive some of the services, social services that are available to them. We also help with rent and utility assistance for families and seniors to prevent homelessness. This is that proactive approach where instead of waiting until they're already on the streets or homeless, that we actually try to prevent that eviction. We try to prevent them being evicted from their homes and losing their utilities. We try to keep their utilities on. If that studies support that keeping their utilities on keeps them in their homes. And then thirdly, we also provide emergency travel for stranded travelers and victims of domestic violence and human trafficking. We help them get to a safe place or some support systems that can support them. Following the October 2020 ice storm, we also provided emergency relief to more than 2,700 individuals in over 800 households. So we were one of the agencies that had received grants and funding to help folks that needed this emergency relief during that ice storm, during that very trying time here in Oklahoma City. Upward Transitions assist families and seniors with rent and utility payments to prevent eviction and increase housing securities, so that the studies do support that when households encounter a financial crisis, that having that intervention even one time can help them maintain their housing. In 2021, Spotlight on Poverty and Opportunity reported on Oklahoma's poverty, in which our rate is 15.8%, which is 1.2 points above the nation as a whole. So we are above the national average as far as the poverty rate. And we have 106,000 households over that much who are paying more than 50% of their income on housing. And 35% of these are single parent families with children. And these are all families that are living below the poverty level. And then during the COVID-19 pandemic, we know that countless families lost income and were unable to pay their rent, utilities, and other bills. We have coordinate our care, and we connect people to services that they need. And one of the agencies, Heartland 211, which is a hotline for people who need help, they reported receiving over 11,000 calls or texts from persons seeking assistance with rent, and over 14,000 calls for assistance with utilities in 2020. When a household is at risk of a utility shutoff, they are in danger of being evicted. So let's catch that family before that happens. Let's take this proactive approach and intervene and catch the family before they become homeless or on the streets. So far, as you know, we have a temporary moratorium that has helped stay these evictions and keep them at bay. But we do anticipate that a number of filings will increase dramatically when the current CDC moratorium expires on June 30th of this year. So Upward Transitions has accessed CARES, which is a particular funding through the Emergency Solutions Grant Program to assist those at risk of eviction once the moratorium is lifted. So we are already preparing for this June 30th lift on the moratoriums for these evictions. So we are prepared, and we are looking to help these people that, because of the pandemic, they have lost their jobs. Some of them have gotten just really behind on their utility payments. And then, so we are prepared to take care of these needs and help meet these needs through collaboration with other agencies, local agencies here in Oklahoma County. And just to give you another stat, during the Oklahoma City's 2020 point in time count, which took place on January 23rd of 2020, this is where they go around and count the number of people homeless on the streets. We identified that there was 1,573 individuals that were literally homeless. And it's estimated that a community's annual number is 4 to 5 times the one night census count. So in this case, this translates that between 6,200 and 7,800 individuals are homeless each year in Oklahoma City. So another study that was completed by Homeless Hub found that 70% of the individuals who are homeless that they encountered did not have a photo ID or other identification documents. And as I have previously mentioned, this is one of the areas that Upward Transition helps with, is helping. We look anywhere over the United States. We research across the country to locate individuals' birth certificates and identification to help them get the necessary documentation so that they can get a job and so that they can receive the social services that are available to them. So, because without these documents, a person cannot obtain housing or financial security. So Upward Transitions assist with removing this barrier, as many individuals who are homeless face challenges in their attempts to obtain these documents due to the cost, their literacy, their behavior, and cognitive factors. So there's several barriers that contribute to homelessness, and we take a proactive step-by-step method in overcoming these barriers and getting identification and the proper documentation for these individuals. And also, Upward Transitions does assist victims of domestic violence and their children, and victims of human trafficking, and we help them travel to a place of safety and support. In 2019, Oklahoma was ranked third in the nation for women murdered by men in domestic violence incidents. According to Palomar, who's a local agency here, Oklahoma City's Family Justice Center saw over 4,500 unduplicated clients between February of 2019 through February 2nd of 2020. The Oklahoma City Police Department responded to over 38,500 domestic violence calls for service in 2020. That is over 38,000 for domestic violence. Local agencies here have fielded over 1,000 calls to its 24-hour human trafficking helpline, and we helped serve 104 of those victims in 2020. So as you see, as we think about the three main areas where Upward Transition's mission, how we execute that in legal document and ID retrieval for those that are homeless, rent and utility assistance for families and seniors to prevent homelessness, and also the emergency travel for stranded travelers and victims of domestic violence and human trafficking. We help them get to a place of safety. So these three main areas are the ways that Upward Transitions executes its mission of ending generational poverty in Oklahoma County. And we look forward to you hearing more about how we execute in our process and the various people that we've helped along the way throughout this year. We just recently finished our annual fundraising event, and we appreciate everyone who engaged and participated. It was a virtual online event, and we fundraised $90,000 at our gala on the virtual online event. And we are so excited and very grateful for the support of everyone here in Oklahoma City and around. We even have supporters who live outside Oklahoma County that are in different cities around the state that understand the work that we do and support us on a monthly basis. So we do encourage you to get engaged, to give back, to support, and give someone a hand up in your community. Visit our website, upwardtransitions.org, and we have a little yellow button there that says donate now. So we ask you to support us, join our team, and help us help those that are vulnerable in our community. That's all we have for today. We look forward to seeing you next Tuesday. Thanks so much. Have a great week.